Hello my dear students, we have metal in which the coordination number is 4, then we can have two types of complexes. It is really very important to learn to calculate this, and which is very important for writing the names of the coordination compound properly. Before I just go on reading this, I will just explain for you all with an example. Pause the video wherever necessary and write it down. It would be really helpful for you all to understand, or just like a shortcut for you all to remember better. If the name is given, how do I write the complex? Hello my dear students, welcome back to the second session on coordination compounds. Today we learn about how to name the coordination compounds. So last class we learnt about types of inorganic salts, definitions of some of the important terms used in coordination compounds, like we learnt what is central metal ion, we learnt ligands, different types of ligands. We also learnt about what do you mean by denticity, ambidentate ligand, chelate ligand, and also we learnt about what is coordination sphere and counter ion. Okay, today some of the definitions are still there for us to learn, after which I will be dealing with nomenclature of coordination compounds. What is coordination polyhedron? It is the spatial arrangement of ligands which are directly attached to the central metal atom or ion. How are the ligands placed around the central metal atom? Okay, that is called as the coordination polyhedron. First, here you can see if it has got 6 ligands, or if I tell it is coordination number is 6, then it can be octahedral structure. Okay, if the coordination number is 4, it can have two types of structure, that is tetrahedral structure or square planar structure, depending on what is the hybridization which is happening. Okay, and if the coordination number is 5, then it can have two types of structure, that is it can be trigonal bipyramidal or it can be square pyramidal, again depending on what is the hybridization. Okay, that is about coordination polyhedron. Next we have calculation of oxidation number on the central atom. Okay, central metal atom or ion. What is the oxidation number? We need to know. It is really very important to learn to calculate this, because while naming a coordination compound, we need to know the oxidation state or oxidation number of the central metal atom or ion. Otherwise, you will lose your marks when it comes to nomenclature. Okay, so how do we calculate this, and what is the oxidation number of the central metal atom or ion? The oxidation number of the central metal atom in a complex is defined as the charge it would carry, the charge the metal would carry if all the ligands along with their electrons are removed completely out. What is it? It is the charge what the metal would carry if we remove all the ligands along with its electron away. So if you remove it from the central metal ion, what will be the charge? That is the oxidation number. Now how do we calculate it? Here you can see I have taken an complex. Okay, my central metal atom is cobalt, I will take it as X. Okay, for amine NH3 we call it as amine. In coordination compounds we call it as amine. Normally we call it as ammonia. Okay, but here we call it as amine, AMMINE. The spelling also is a little different. Okay, that is 0, oxidation state is 0, but we have 4 of them, so we've written X plus 4 into 0. Okay, and water, which we call it as aqua. In coordination compounds we call it as aqua, also is a neutral ligand. So 1 we have 1 into 0 plus chloride or chlorido, we call it as in coordination compounds, it has got the charge -1, which is equal to +2. If there is a charge on the complex, then it is equal to the charge, or if it is a neutral complex, it is equal to 0. Okay, we'll take a few more examples, you will understand it better. Okay, so x plus 4 into 0 is 0, then we have 1 into 0 is 0, plus -1 is equal to +2. So I take -1 onto the other side, I will get +1, it becomes +1, so x will be equal to +3. So the oxidation number of cobalt in this complex is +3. Similarly, I have two more examples for you all. In this particular example, I can calculate in two ways. Okay, how exactly? I'll take cobalt as X, NCS is -1 charge, so 1 into -1 plus amine has got neutral, so it is 0 into 5 plus SO3 has got -2 charge, so it's -2 is equal to 0. That is, the entire complex does not have any charge, so I can take it as equal to 0. So if I calculate this way, what will be the answer? X -1 plus -2 is equal to 0, which is equal to +3. Okay. One more method of calculation is, if I remove this SO3, which is 2-, then the complex will get the charge of +2. Correct? So I can calculate that way also. Cobalt, I have taken it as X, NCS is -1, 5 into 0 is equal to, if I remove SO3, what will be the charge? +2 is equal to +2. So X is equal to +3. So either of way I am going to get the correct answer itself. Either I take the entire complex to be equal to 0, I will include the charge of SO3 also as -2, or I will remove that and I will write the charge on the complex is equal to +2. Both the ways my oxidation number of cobalt is same. Similarly, one more example I have taken here. Again I can calculate this in two ways. Cobalt, first method, X, cobalt is X, amine is 0, so 4 into 0 is 0. Okay, and then I have chloride, Cl, I have -1 into 2, so it is -2 plus sulfate is -2 again is equal to 0. So X is equal to +4 I get. Okay, or sulfate I know it is -2, so the charge on the complex will be +2. So X plus 0 plus -1 into 2 is equal to +2. So X is equal to +4. Either of way I can calculate if it is the complete coordination complex which is given. If only the charged complex ion, that is cationic complex or anionic complex is given, then sum total of all the charges inside will be equal to the charge on the complex. So you have to put equal to the whatever charge. If it is minus, you put is equal to -x. If it is positive charge, plus whatever is the charge there. Okay, further we will have many examples to solve. We will see what we have. Next one, homoleptic complexes. What do you mean by homoleptic complexes? Homo means same. Okay, so in this the metal atom or ion has only one type of ligand around it. They have only one type of ligand. For example, you can see cobalt with 6 ligands, all the 6 are NH3, that is amine as the ligand it has got. Similarly, I can give an example of PtCl of 4, 2-. Even here platinum has got 4 chloride or chlorido as the ligand here. All are chloride only, there is no other ligand which is present. Such complexes we call it as homoleptic complexes. Definition: complexes in which the metal is bound only to one kind of donor group is called as homoleptic complex. What do you mean by heteroleptic? Hetero, it is different. So complexes in which metal ion is bound to more than one kind of donor groups. For example, you can see cobalt, I have 4 amine and 2 chloride. I have 2 types of ligands here. Correct? Then we call it as heteroleptic complex. Okay. Again, this can be asked as a 2-mark question, so it is really very important. Next we have table of common ligands which we are using and which is very, very important for writing the names of the coordination compound properly. Okay, you have to know the charge on the ligand and you have to know the name of the ligand. Only then you can calculate the oxidation number and write the name of the coordination compound properly. If you do not know this table thoroughly, then it becomes really difficult for your board exams as well as for your competitive exams. For board exams, it is not necessary that you know everything here. Sometimes some of the ligands they have never asked at all. But then when it comes to your competitive exam, it will become really difficult for you all to write the names. So it's very important to know what's the charge on the ligand and what is the name. Okay, so we'll see monodentate ligand. As I explained, they have denticity is 1, that means they have one donor atom. They can form one coordination bond with the metal. Okay, in that monodentate ligand, there are of 3 types. Either it can be neutral, or it can be negatively charged, or it can be positively charged. Okay, because it's monodentate, you can expect -1 and +1 charge. Okay, now we'll see for which is neutral. Formula NH3, the name, the normal name what we use in chemistry might be completely different than the name which is given to it when it acts as a ligand. Okay, for example, NH3 we call it as ammonia, isn't it? But NH3 when it acts as a ligand, we call it as amine, that too with double M, AMMINE, amine. Okay, second we have water, that is H2O, which we call it as aqua. Then we have CO, carbon monoxide, we can call it as carbonyl. Okay, next we have NO, which is called as nitrosyl. PRY is used for pyridine. Okay, the formula. So we have how many? 5 neutral ligands which is monodentate. Okay, they can form one coordination bond. Next, -1 with negative charge. -1 charge, you can see there are many. We'll just revise quickly which are those. N3- we call it as azido, Br- we call it as bromido, Cl- we call it as chlorido, Cn- we call it as cyanido, F- I call it as fluorido, OH- I call it as hydroxido, hydroxyl or hydroxido. Hydroxyl is the normal name, but hydroxido. You can also observe here I have halogens. Okay, so it is bromo, chloro, fluoro we call it as, but here it is ending with IDO. The old convention, if you see in the name of the ligands also, it was called as bromo, chloro and fluoro, but then recently it has been changed or it is updated to IDO, bromido, chlorido, fluorido, cyanido, IDO. It has to end with IDO. You can see here, observe, it is ending with IDO. All the negative ones, it's ending with IDO, or it should end with O, to be very precise. See, I have nitrito O and nitrito N. What is the difference? If oxygen is acting as the donor, it is nitrito O. If nitrogen is acting as the donor, then it is nitrito N. Okay. One more thing what you can observe here is, we do not use capital letters when we are writing the names. It's always in the small letters, except here when I am telling O and N. It can be written in capital letters. Now NO3- it's nitrato, CH3- it is acetato. See again, SCN- thiocyanato, when sulfur is the donor. When nitrogen is the donor, then it is isothiocyanato. What is it? Isothiocyanato. They are ambidentate ligands. These two are the examples for ambidentate ligands which I had explained in the previous session. Okay, these are the commonly present negatively charged ligand which is carrying a charge of -1, which is a monodentate as well. Okay, then we have with plus charges, that is positive cationic. NO, we call it as nitrosonium. NO2 plus, it's called as nitronium, and NH2 NH3 plus, it is called as hydrazinium. Okay, the ending IUM for positively charged ligands. IDO or O for negatively charged ligands, IUM for positively charged ligands, and for neutral ligands it is just the name. Some of them there is an exception like amine, aqua, carbonyl, nitrosyl, etc. Then we have bidentate ligands. Bidentate ligands means which can form two coordination bonds, In that some are neutral and some are having a -2 charge. So which is neutral? We see bipyridine, BIPY we can use the formula as, then it is bipyridine, it's neutral, and EN we write for ethane 1,2 diamine. It's very important, it comes now and then. EN is written for ethane 1,2 diamine. Okay, structure again you can refer the previous session, you will get the complete structure of ethane 1,2 diamine and bipyridine also. Okay, next one, it is with -2 charge carrying is -2, it is a bidentate ligand. So you have CO3 2 minus carbonato, I told you negatively charged ends with O, O2 minus oxido, C2O4 2 minus, it is oxalato. Sometimes we write it as OX also. Sometimes in some of the complexes it is written as OX symbol. Okay, SO4 2 minus, it is sulfato. So these all carry -2 charges. So it's very important for you all to know the name of the ligand and what is the charge it will carry. Only then you can name the coordination compounds properly. Okay, so we'll move forward. Nomenclature of coordination compounds, they have a very different method of naming. Okay, so I'll just take an example and I will explain to you all. We have in our syllabus only mononuclear coordination compounds. In our syllabus we have only mononuclear coordination compounds. Okay, so first one, before I just go on reading this, I will just explain for you all with an example. I'll just take the simplest example. Okay, K3FeCN6. Okay, now always remember, by convention we write the cation first and then the anion. Okay, for example, simple salt only you take, sodium chloride, Na plus, sodium is the one which is forming cation, chloride is the one which is anion, that's why sodium chloride. Here also, whenever we are writing a neutral coordination compound, if the counter ion comes first, that is the cation, and the complex what is there within the square bracket, the complex is an anion. We call such complex as anionic complex because this gets a negative charge if I remove the counter ion. Okay, similarly, if first I have written the complex and the counter ion is written later on, that means that compound is having a complex which is cationic complex. That means if I remove the counter ion, what will happen? The complex will get the positive charge. Okay, so here if I remove the counter ion, it will get the negative charge, so it's an anionic complex. Okay, I shall explain some more examples. Okay, first thing, we write the name of the cation. What is a cation? It's potassium. Okay, next I have to write, when I start inside the complex I have ligand and metal. First we have to write the name of the ligand. How many ligands are there? 6 are there. So it is hexa is the prefix because 6 is there. Okay, CN is cyanido. Okay, so cyanido, and it is an anionic complex. When it is an anionic complex, the metal name, we use the Latin name ending with ATE. Okay, the normal name for Fe is iron, so the Latin name is used for the metal. So the common name is iron, but when it comes in the anionic complex, I will be writing it as ferrate, Ferrate. Okay. Now after this, I have to write the oxidation number within the brackets, within the parenthesis. Now how to calculate the oxidation number I already explained, but I will explain to you all every time I am doing the naming. So it is potassium has got +1 charge, so +1 into 3 plus iron, I will take it as X, plus cyanide or cyanido has got -1 charge, so -1 into 6 is equal to 0, because I have the full complex with counter ion and the complex ion. Okay, so this is 3 plus X plus -6 is equal to 0. -6 plus 3 is -3, which comes on the other side, it has got +3 charge. So I write it in Roman numerals. I write it in Roman numerals 3. Okay, so this is the name of the complex. It is which complex we have? We have anionic complex here. I have taken the example of anionic complex. Okay, so I'll just read all the rules again. Okay, the first one, the cation is named first in both positively and negatively charged coordination entities. Okay, then the ligands are named in alphabetical order. When you have more than one ligand, then this comes into picture, where it should be in alphabetical order. Okay, here I had only one ligand, hence I have not spoken about alphabetical order. Further examples I shall explain. Okay, name of the anionic ligand ends with O, and those of the neutral and cation ligands remains the same, or cation actually it will end with IUM, but not all. Okay, exceptions we have aqua for H2O, amine AMMINE, amine for NH3, carbonyl CO, nitrosyl is NO. Okay, then to indicate the number of individual ligand, we use prefixes like mono, di, tri, tetra, penta, hexa, hepta, etc. Okay, mono means 1, di means 2, tri means 3, tetra means 4, penta means 5, hexa means 6, hepta means 7. You have learnt about these prefixes in your first year. Okay, if the prefixes are present in the name of the ligand itself, if the prefix is present in the name of the ligand, then we use terms like bis, tris, tetra, kis, etc. That is, you can see here example, in this particular complex is named as dichlorobis-triphenyl-phosphine. PPH3, the name of the ligand has only got the prefix tri, correct? The name of the ligand only has got the prefix tri, so I cannot write it as di-triphenyl-phosphine, it will be a confusion. So when the name of the ligand itself has the prefixes like mono, di, tri or tetra, what we do is, in such cases, the prefix for the ligand, for the number of ligands we use is bis, tris, tetra, kis. Here there were 2, so it is bis. If it is tris, that means there are 3, it is 3. Tetra, kis 4, penta, kis 5. Okay, so that's how we name this types of ligand. So I have many examples for you all where all of it is covered, so don't worry, we'll just finish with the rules and then I will give you a number of examples for naming. Okay, next, oxidation state of metal is indicated by Roman numeral in parenthesis. I already told you all about it. If the complex ion is cation, then the name of the metal is the element itself. For example, iron, Fe is called as iron and Pt is called as platinum. If the complex ion is anion, then the metal is named with the suffix ATE. I told you metal 8, ATE should be the ending of the name if it is in the anionic complex. Okay, For example, cobalt in complex anion, if this is an anionic, you can see -2 charge it is called, so it is cobaltate. Okay, whereas if it was a cationic complex, it would be just cobalt. Okay, same way, if there are Latin names, then the complex should have the Latin name ending with ate. Okay, the neutral complexes are named just like complex cations. So we'll go for different examples here just for understanding. Listen carefully, pause the video wherever necessary and write it down. It would be really helpful for you all to understand. Otherwise you might just get lost in all the explanation what I am giving. Okay, so first example, I have taken this particular complex. This complex is a cationic complex. Okay, so first I shall calculate the oxidation number. This is X plus amine charge is 0. How many I have? 3. So 3 into 0 plus I have water, how many? 3. So 3 into 0 plus chloride ions I have, how many? 3. How much? What is the charge? -1. So -1 into 3 is equal to 0. Correct? Now X is equal to +3. So the oxidation number of cobalt is +3. For cationic complex, what is the method I have to write? I will just write it for you all, or just like a shortcut for you all to remember better. Okay, first we have ligands. Okay, then we write the name of the metal as it is, then inside the brackets we write the oxidation number, and then we write the counter ion name. Okay, this is for cationic complex. Whereas for anionic, and the ligands of course should come in alphabetical order. Okay, for anionic complexes, how do I write the name? First the counter ion name will come. Counter ion name will come. Okay, let's see, or the cation name will come. Okay, counter ion here is cation. Here the counter ion is anion. Okay, then I write the name of the ligand, again alphabetical order itself. Then I will write the name of the metal ending with ate. Then I will put the oxidation number. So if you remember this method of writing, it will be very easy for you all. Okay, now we shall write the names of the two examples what I have taken. The first example, already I told how to calculate the oxidation number. Now I shall write the name. Okay, first what I should write? I should write the name of the ligand. Correct? How many ligands I have? 3 of amine, 3 of aqua. Both starts with the letter A. So what I will do? A, M, second letter I see. A, double M, I, N, E. So that is the first one which has to come. Then AQ, which is the second one. Correct? So I will write it as triamine. Okay, next triaqua, then next what I have to write? Just the name of the metal, no AT, because it's cationic complex, so it is so what is the metal? It is cobalt. Then what is it? Oxidation number. Oxidation number is 3. Okay, then what is the counter ion? It is chloride. Correct? So I'll write it as chloride. So it is triamine, triaqua, cobalt 3 chloride is the name. Now if you observe one more thing, have I given any space in between from one ligand to another? No. Have I used capital letters? No. You should not be using any capital letters. You should not be giving any space in between. It should come as one single word. Okay. Please take care about this when you are writing the name. So that is for the first cationic complex. Next one for anionic complex. Okay. Shall we calculate the charge here? Okay, it is potassium is +1 into 3 plus X plus C2O4 is oxalato, that is -2 charge. -2 into 3 is equal to 0. So X is equal to 3 and -6 is -3. When I take it on the other side, it is +3. So it is +3 oxidation state of chromium. Now, how do I write the name? First, it is potassium. I just write the name. Potassium. I don't have to tell how many counter ions are there. Okay, I have to just write the name. So it is potassium. Then name of the ligand, which is it? Oxalato. How many I have? 3. So it is trioxalato. Okay. What is the name of the metal? It's chromium, but it is an anionic complex. It has got a negative charged complex. So it is ending with ATE. So it is chromate. Okay. What is the oxidation state? 3. So that is the name of a anionic complex. You write the name of the counter ion, that is the cation. Then trioxalato chromate 3. That is the name of this complex. I hope you have understood. If not, I told you I'll be giving many examples. So we'll just move forward. Okay. Here I have taken, it's a cationic complex, and these two are the neutral complexes. Okay. So the first one, X plus chloride is -1, -1 into 2 is -2. En, what is the En? It is ethane 1,2 diamine. Ethane 1,2 diamine. Correct? So ethane 1,2 diamine is a neutral ligand. It is what? Neutral ligand. So it is 0. 0 into 2 is 0. Plus chloride is -1 is equal to 0. So X is equal to +3. I'll start writing now. Now one more rule will come into picture, because the name of the ligand itself has got a di there. Ethane 1,2 diamine. Now when I am using the prefix to depict the number of ligands, I can't use di. What I should use? I should use bis. Okay. So we'll write now. C comes before E. So it is, first we have to write chlorido. How many? 2. So it is dichlorido. Okay. Then how do we write? Bis ethane 1,2 diamine. Now when I am having such ligand in which the prefix name is there, we put it inside the bracket. Okay. And remember, here amine has got only single M, no double M. Only when it is NH3 we are writing it as AMMINE. Okay. So dichlorido bis ethane 1,2 diamine. My ligands are over. Now what? The metal name. Metal is what? Cobalt. Cobalt 3 chloride. Don't write here chlorido. It is not a ligand. It's just the ion. That's why it is chloride. Okay. The next one. X plus 0 plus what is CO3? What is CO3? It is carbonate ion, correct? Carbonate ion has got -2 charge. So -2 plus -1 is equal to 0, X is equal to +3. Okay. Now I will write the name. A comes before C. So it is pentaamine. Pentaamine. C I have written double M. Okay. Pentaamine carbonato. Okay. Cobalt. Chloride. Okay, that is the second one. The third one, X plus 0 is equal to 0. So it is a neutral ligand which has got 0 charge. Okay, so it will be same like cationic complex. You are supposed to name this. It is tetracarbonyl. Okay, nickel 0. Okay, oxidation number is 0. Last one, X plus 0 plus -1 plus NO2. It is given as NO2. If that is means nitrogen is a donor, ONO means oxygen is a donor. Okay, so NO2 has got -1 charge which is equal to 0. So X will be equal to +2. Okay, here I will get it as again alphabetical order. A comes first, then C, then nitrito N. Okay, so it will be diamine, single chlorido I have, so it is chlorido. Then we have nitrito N. Okay, nitrito N, capital only, here I am using capital. Okay, then it is platinum, nitrito N, then platinum. Okay, oxidation number of platinum is 2. So I hope you have understood how to name the cationic complex as well as the neutral complexes. Okay, now next we have anionic complexes, and also I have given the one with the charge. So these are the next four examples what I want to give you all. So +2 plus X, this is -1 into 4 is equal to 0. So it is X is equal to +2. Okay, so how do I name this? It is potassium. Then we have tetrahydroxido, zincate, end with ATE, zincate 2. I hope you have understood. Next one, +3, that is +1 into 3 plus X plus C2O4 is oxalato, -2 into 3 is equal to 0. So I will get it as X is equal to +3. Okay, so the name potassium, I have oxalato which is 3, so it is potassium trioxalato. Okay, aluminium, so it is aluminate 3. Okay, here iron only, it is Fe4 it is given, FeCN6 thrice. So what happens here is, see the entire complex also has got the charge 3, so it will have to go opposite. See, it is like this, Fe plus 3 and FeCN6 4 minus. Okay, it will be like this. So what is the charge? So taking this into consideration, Fe is +3 charge, so +3, okay, into 4 plus X plus -6 sorry, this will be 3x because of this 3, and into 3 is equal to 0. Why this 3 here? Because the entire thing is 3 times, no? So x when I write 3x. 6 into 3 I write because it is 3 again. 3 times it is present. So it is 4 3s are 12 plus 3x plus 6 3s are 18 is equal to 0. So I will get it as 3x is equal to 18 minus 12, 6, okay, minus 6 when it goes on the other side it becomes plus 6, 6 by 3 is 2, so x is equal to plus 2. Okay, so this is in plus 3 state, the other one is plus 2 state. If you don't want to do it completely like this, you just take this complex and do FeCN6 minus 4, you put x plus minus 6 is equal to minus 4, plus 6 when it goes you will get again plus 2 itself. Directly you can do, or you can take this long method. In either of the way you are going to get the oxidation number same. Okay, then how do I name this? It is, if it is plus 3 state, it is ferric, so it is ferric. Okay, then I have 6 Cn minus, so it is hexacyanido ferrate 2, ferric hexacyanido ferrate. The next one we have, we'll take this as x plus minus 2, ethane 1,2-diamine, I told you it is 0, is equal to plus 1, the charge is plus 1. So I'll get x is equal to plus 1 plus 2, that is x is equal to plus 3. Now I'll name this. Okay, how do I name this? First I'll write the name of the ligand. Okay, so it is dichlorido. Then I have ethane 1,2-diamine, so I have to write it as bis because it is 2. So I have bis, I'll open the bracket, write ethane 1,2-diamine, close the bracket. Then I have to write cobalt, okay, cationic complex, so it is just cobalt, not cobaltate, it is just cobalt, positive charge. Okay, then I'll put the charge as 3 and I have to write, end it with ion. Why? Because I don't have the counter ion and the complex has the charge, so I have to end it with the name ion, otherwise it will be wrong. Okay, I hope you have understood the naming of the coordination compounds. Next, if the name is given, how do I write the complex? When it comes to exam point of view, for your board exams, this is not very important, but of course it's there in the syllabus and it's important for your competitives. Okay, so how do I name the write the structure of the complex when the name is given? First it is written potassium, so I write it as K, that's the counter ion. Okay, then I write the name of the metal. Metal is what? Aluminium, so I will write aluminium. Okay, then trioxalato, that means 3 oxalato groups are there. C2O4 is oxalato. How many are there? 3 are there. Okay, then I put my square bracket. I know the oxidation state is 3, so this is plus 3, oxalato is minus 2, okay, into 3. So what will I get here? It is 3 plus 3 and minus 6. So it is, charge on the complex is minus 3, correct? So how many potassium ions I should have? 3, because it is plus 3. Then the minus 3 on this will be balanced by 3 potassium ions, so it will be K3. I hope you understood how to write the complex. Okay, this is the first example. Second one, again it is potassium tetracyanide nickelate 2. So I write potassium, then I write the name of the metal Ni, Then tetracyanido, that means CN is 4 times. I put my square bracket. 2 plus 2 minus 4 is equal to how much? Minus 2, correct? So this should be 2, K2. Okay, last one, tetraamine aqua chlorido cobalt 3 chloride. So which is the metal? Cobalt. See, from the name of the metal I know it's cationic, that's why I am writing the metal first, cobalt. Then I have tetraamine NH3, how many? 4. Then I have aqua H2O. Then chlorido Cl, only one. Okay, I put the square bracket, chloride. Now how many chloride ions I have got? Cobalt is 3 plus 3 plus 0 plus 0 minus 1. So I have plus 2 charge on this end. Plus 3 and minus 1 is plus 2. So this has got plus 2, so I have to have minus 2. So that is the way of writing the structure when the name is given. Okay. So I hope you have understood the nomenclature, how if the structure or the complex is given, you need to write the name there, or the name of the coordination compound is given, you need to write the structure. Okay. So next class we will be learning about isomerism in coordination compounds. So I hope you have understood today's session. Thank you my dear children. Stay focused, stay tuned.